Chief Medical Executive, Maureen Francis, the President of the Michigan Realtors Association, and Rachel Lutz, the owner of the Peacock Room in Detroit. I want to take a few moments to acknowledge someone close to me who recently passed from COVID-19, my friend Morris Hood. Morris Hood III was someone with whom I served in the legislature and became very close friends with. He was a state senator who served the people of Michigan's 3rd Senate District in Dearborn, Melvindale, and Detroit for 8 years. He served 3 terms in the House, representing the people of Michigan's 11th House District in the House of Representatives. He was a dear friend, and a touching obituary was written about him that he came in the son of a giant and left a giant himself. He was a proud Detroiter and continued the family commitment to the service of his community. There was not a more loyal friend, thoughtful advisor, or quicker wit. Mo was the type of guy that lit up the room and made you glad just to be there. He is doing that in the next life now, and those of us he's left here are better off having known him. May he rest in peace. He was almost 55 years old. My love and prayers go out to his beloved family and his many, many friends who grieve this tough loss. I know there are a lot of people in the state who don't personally know anyone who's gotten sick from COVID-19, let alone died. But what we need to remember is that these deaths aren't just numbers. They were real people, our fellow Michiganders. They had men and women who loved them, husbands and wives and children and grandkids. We owe it to them and to our frontline heroes to see this through, to get through it together. This should be a time for unity, not division. We must continue to protect one another. We must all continue to do our part to save lives. The majority of people in our state are doing the right thing. But as we begin to carefully phase in sectors of our economy, and as more Michiganders return to work, those who aren't able to go back yet need to continue to stay home, to stay safe. And when you have to leave your home, to be smart, to wear a homemade mask, stay 6 feet apart, wash your hands, use hand sanitizer. The only way we're able to take these next steps is if we continue to take care of ourselves and one another. Taking care of one another can look like a lot of different things, whether it's simply reaching out to check in on someone you care about, whether it's asking for help if you yourself are struggling. Maybe it's donating to a food bank or donating medical supplies to a local healthcare facility or first responders. I saw something really truly amazing in the newspaper. Gowns that were donated to first responders in memory of 5-year-old Skylar Herbert. Skylar's mother, Lavondria, said that her daughter was always putting toys aside to give to her friends. She said when we'd go out to Target, we would ask if we could buy an extra toy because her friend didn't have one. In Skylar's honor, the Detroit Public Safety Foundation donated 10,000 protective gowns to the city's first responders, both of whom her parents are first responders in the city of Detroit. Taking care of one another could look like donating to a good cause, committing to helping someone in need. Sterling Heights family that is mourning the loss of both parents. The United Community Family Services and the Chaldean American Ladies of Charity are collecting donations to help a Sterling Heights family of 3 children who lost both their parents to COVID-19. If you can, do some research. Find a good cause so that you can help out your neighbors and fellow Michiganders. And remember, there are people across the state who need help. And if you're one of them, ask for help. I know it's hard. It's been a long 9 weeks. It's hard to believe it's only been 9 weeks in some regards. We can't just flip a switch and resume life as it was beforehand. We have to turn this dial slowly and re-engage in a smart way that'll protect our families and our neighbors and our friends and our businesses. There are a lot of businesses that have stepped up in this time. I want to acknowledge the Coca-Cola Company in partnership with Great Lakes Coca-Cola Bottling Company, MakersRespond.org, and Boyd Corporation that donated 65,000 plastic face shields to the state of Michigan to help protect our frontline workers. The Coca-Cola Foundation has also recently awarded more than $300,000 in grants to the local Boys and Girls Clubs and Food for Sharing organizations in Michigan to support COVID-19 programs. And also, Mohammed Kazi, owner of Sienna Healthcare, has personally donated 210,000 nitrile gloves to the state of Michigan, 10,000 surgical masks to the Wayne County Sheriff's Department, and has partnered with Detroit Rescue Mission Ministries to deliver food boxes to seniors in many communities. Thank you. Thank you to all of you who've done some part in helping others. This morning, my administration announced that the state of Michigan will participate in the Federal Unemployment Insurance Agency Work-Share program to help offset budget implications as a result of the state's response to COVID-19 pandemic. As a part of this program, impacted state employees will take 2 temporary layoff days per pay period, beginning on Sunday, May 17th until July 25th, which will result in an estimated $80 million in decreased wage costs. Thank you to the state employees for doing your part. Utilizing this federal program allows the state to both protect paychecks of our state employees so they can continue to support Michigan families and ensure that essential services for Michiganders continue on without interruption. This federal program allows the state to keep employees working with reduced hours, while employees collect partial unemployment benefits to make up a portion of lost wages. Impacted employees will retain their health insurance and benefits will automatically be enrolled into the unemployment process to help ensure that they've got the support they need during this challenging time. State managers at the 17 level and above will not participate in work-share, but will instead be taking a layoff day every other pay period, resulting in an approximate 5% reduction in gross pay. Over 31,000 state employees will be impacted. I know this is going to be a big change, and I know how important it is for our leaders to lead by example. And that's why last month I've announced that I've taken a 10% pay cut and have asked my executive team, all of whom are participating, to take a 5% pay cut for the remainder of the fiscal year. I'll continue to work hard to protect our state employees and ease the pressure that this crisis has put on our state budget. State employees do amazing work on behalf of the people of Michigan. These temporary layoffs are not a reflection of the importance of their work or a reflection of their dedication, but rather the reality of how COVID-19 has impacted their ability to do their work. As I said last week, Michigan is currently in the third of 6 phases of the My Safe Start plan to re-engage our economy. We're in the flattening phase where case growth is gradually declining. We got here because we took aggressive measures to fight COVID-19. This graph will show you what would have happened without aggressive social distancing measures put in place. It's really pretty stunning when you take a look at it. If we had not taken the action that we did, more people would have died and the disease would have spread much further than it has. The current Safer at Home order is in effect until May 28th, and Michiganders must still wear homemade masks and practice social distancing when they need to leave the house. Activity has increased. That's concerning. It's concerning because we know that you don't see the impact of a decision until about 2 weeks. And so right now, there are a lot of signs to feel positive about. But if this activity from the last week results in a spike, we'll see it next week, and we may have to take action or slow down. And that's why it's so critical that everyone continues to do their part. Every one of us has a role to play, and the vast majority of people in our state have been playing that role and doing it well. Thank you, but let's not let our guard down now. It would be a travesty if the sacrifice we've made was made in vain, and we see numbers climb because we've dropped these social distancing and safety practices. So please, keep it up. Today, I'm joined by business leaders from across the state who are committed to ensuring